Good morning. This is Judy from Artistic Artifacts in Alexandria, Virginia. And we are here with our Saturday morning Facebook Live. Every Saturday morning you can find us at 9:30 Eastern Time. And we just kind of want to impart you with some, information, things you might find inspiring, tools and things. So this is just kind of a kind of a meet and greet. We want to check in, how you doing, it started with the pandemic when we had no access to any of our customers. We couldn't see any of you. So we've thought, oh, it's a good thing. So we're going to continue it. This morning we have to run very close to on time, which means we need to end at maybe 2 minutes to 10 because everybody in this room is the staff for the store today, so just beware of that. We have several things coming up. Thursday night this week, we will have a How Do You Use It Facebook Live and Comment Sold. So what that allows you to do is, as I'm demonstrating products, which we're going to talk about paints, Artistic Artifacts paints, why they're in different 2-ounce jars, fluid jars, how I use them, what do I do with them, how do I use it. There you go. And if you have the app, you should receive a notification to join us on the app because you'll be able to shop for the supplies as I'm demonstrating them. That is this Thursday. For those of you who are local, we're going to have another parking lot, warehouse, yard sale, whatever the weather, rain or shine, on June 25th at 9 a.m. to 2. So we have that coming up as well. And I saved the best information for last. We have been sitting on this for a little while. We were released to make announcements yesterday. So those of you on Facebook may have seen it already, but we have Kafe and Brandon coming to teach a workshop at Artistic Artifacts in October. We are like wildly, insanely happy, absolutely crazy. So he has a few stops on the East Coast. I think that there's maybe 10 or less locations where he will be teaching. Connecticut, I think New Jersey, Virginia, North Carolina, and then he's working his way towards Houston Quilt Festival. So we're just thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So we will have a lecture on Friday night. We will have 2 workshops. The workshops will only allow 20 people in each. You may only sign up for one. You may sign up for a lecture and a workshop. And then if you're coming into town for this, we're going to work on some other options to keep you inspired and intrigued and occupied. If you're, in the class one day, we'll do something at Artistic Artifacts the next day. But so only one workshop, okay? Please be aware. We are going to launch the registration for both the lecture and the workshops this Wednesday at 5 o'clock when we send our newsletter. Our newsletter will have all the links. We will, of course, take a wait list for the workshops, but, because it's October. The dates are October 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then we'll also have a different event on Monday, but we can't tell you what that is yet. But trust me, it'll be a weekend of absolute fun. So that's our big announcement. We are just so happy that we were chosen to host Kafe and Brandon. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about glues and mediums and stick a little bit in there about, what's the word I want? We have these stencil butters, molding paste is the word I'm looking for. Texture mediums. Now, these are, golden is my choice in mediums. I have been associated with Art and Soul, which is a mixed media retreat, and that is where I received my education on mediums. And I can assure you, I learned a lot. So, the thing with mediums, similar to the idea of paint, is really how much water is in it. Oh, you know what I don't have is matte medium.
Is it back there?
Yeah, I think there's some back there. Chris is gonna look. So in the mixed media world, matte medium is what everybody was talking about. It's a glue. You use it to put things down. It's an adherence. And so I used it, and oh, awesome! Thank you. So it has the most water in it. There's even another matte medium that has even more water in it, but this one is what I think most mixed media people are interested in. So it has a lot of water. What I find with this, some people might use a brush. I tend to use this wonderful, expensive used gift card, and I am going to use a napkin here. So when you're using these things, you're going to use the matte medium. Now it's not going to do it, is it? I find that I rip things when I use matte medium. I do not find, especially with a brush. So if I'm using tissue paper and something else, it is going to, you have to put the medium on the bottom, and then, so it's got to be both top and bottom. It's not going to rip. I'm on camera, it's not going to rip. It only rips in the privacy of my own home. But it does, I promise you, I find it rips. So that I have kind of moved on from matte medium because of the ripping. So especially when I'm using a brush. And I do use brushes every once in a while, not in the standard, but that's a way. And it'll just not hold it together as well. So that one is the matte medium. So what I have gone to is soft gel. Okay, this is what I use at home. These are the ones that we have in the store. So soft gel is going to be regular or matte, gloss or matte. So gloss is going to be that it's going to be a little bit shiny, and you can see this is probably a new bottle. No, because of course I have plenty. This is an old bottle. Okay, so let me see if see how thick that is? That's thicker. Has less water in it than the matte medium. It has a little bit more. And if I was to use fabric, which I only have paper, I would use soft gel, because I do put fabric in my journals. So you can see how this is much thicker. Chris is going to find me a little piece of fabric that I can rip up and put in there.
They're all too precious.
I know. Scrap bin? Okay, we'll come back. But, so what, with papers, so I use, these are all papers I've jelly plate printed, I've woodblock stamped, so, and I have a box that we use. So I'm going to, again, I have to put this medium on the bottom. Oh, there we go. We have a scrap. Thank you. And I have to put it on the top and the bottom. Always make sure you got it covered top and bottom. Thank you. So this is strong enough to hold fabric. So the soft gel is. The matte medium can, but I just kind of have moved on to this. So that it's, to me, a little bit stronger. It's going to dry clear, and it's going to hold much better than what I think of as and you can see where your glue is not, because it will come right up. And if you don't have the glue on the bottom, you are also going to have bubbles. So you'll have bubbles and everything. Okay. So the soft gel is my choice in glues.
How long does that take to dry?
It's usually, I would generally leave it overnight. You can put parchment paper, you can put something else in between. Like, see, this is already starting to stick to this one. So you definitely want to put something in the middle. Usually parchment paper will work, but anything just to get some air through these pages is helpful. So, but yeah, generally, so what I'll do is I'm going to stand this up so that I work on multiple pages at a time, and when it dries, this is how it's going to stay. So I will give myself some space. And this is a book that I obviously have done the background using paint and stencils and jelly plate. So that we'll talk about on Thursday. So the matte medium has got the most water in it. The other is the soft gel. And then there's this product, which I can't get open.
While you're trying to get it open, there is a question.
Yeah.
Can you reconstitute dried up medium? And how do you prevent drying in the container?
Okay, good questions. Anything with, it probably has to go under hot water. Sorry, we'll do the tar gel later.
If I can put the camera down, I can get it.
Okay, anything with water is going to dry out and evaporate. So that is going to include paint, acrylic paints, and these glues. They're not precious. You have to use them faster. So you have to create more art. But with all sarcasm apart, one of the things that I was told, and I think it works really well, obviously I didn't do it on the tar gel, but if you put Vaseline around the top, so when you take your lid off, you run Vaseline around here, okay? That's going to help seal it. I don't know about reconstituting. Generally, if it's all dried out and you can't get anything out of it, I throw it out. I don't mix with the chemistry of it.
So Janine says, I put a piece of Glad press and seal down into my open container.
That's a great idea.
I push it down on top of the surface of the product.
That's a wonderful idea. That's awesome. Brilliant. Thank you. I think that's the answer. And notice what she says is she's not just putting it across the top here, she's going down and pressing it against what is in the container. So it's going to go down and adhere to that. That's fabulous. Thank you so much. I'm stealing that idea. I'm using that idea. So I think that's a great one. Because it is an issue. It is an issue with everything that is a water base. And I will tell you, on the commercial side, people who create paint, that is the holy grail, is finding a container that is not going to allow things to dry out quickly. They will dry out eventually. So that is an awesome question. All right. The other one that I know from my teenage days, I use Mod Podge all the time. So because I didn't even know about golden and soft gel. So this is a little bit more liquid. This is similar to matte medium. Now what they tell me, because they haven't been using it in a long time and I can't remember that far back, is that the difference between matte medium and Mod Podge is that matte medium might still be a little sticky when it dries, whereas Mod Podge is not sticky. Now, I've had some fun with using matte medium because what you can do is you can take foil and do some rubbings, and the matte medium is going to pull that and adhere it to your page. So again, it's all about how much water is in it and how much control you want. Then you go to molding pastes, which is, this is Liquitex because of course somebody gave it to me. Usually I would buy, but this has even less water. And what this is going to allow you to do is to sculpt 3-dimension. You can let it dry and then you can paint over it. But that's molding paste. If you use this with stencils, which you very easily can do, you must clean your stencil. So this is a little bit like what you do with molding pastes and creams. So this is going to allow dimension. It is 3-dimensional. And it will go on. I think there's many more depending on how thick or how much you want. The clear gel is a pour, and then it'll dry and it'll be 3-dimensional also. So that's what this is. And wrong end of that one. So the idea is that this allows you to pour. And I've got texture on this now, and it'll dry with a dimension that is a liquid pour. So that's what that's about. Okay, now one of the things that we do here is we make silk paper, which is here. All right, this is layers of silk. You can go look at a different write-up about it on YouTube. We have a YouTube about how to make the silk paper.
Before you go on to your silk paper,
yeah.
Couple comments. Linda says that she's seen that folks don't like Mod Podge because of the stickiness. The other was that you could add paint to the molding paste first.
Yes, you can. You can add color to it.
Oh, and Jean says that the press and seal was not her idea. She learned it from Tim Holtz and Jennifer McGuire.
Well, but it's a good one, and thank you for passing it on. That's a great one.
And Sue Carroll asked if, isn't it self-leveling when you've poured it on the
clear tar gel? No.
Yeah.
It'll hold. And what I'll have to do, Sue, is I'll have to wait for it to dry, and I will put some paint on these, and we'll post some pictures that goes. So, but that'll be probably, towards the middle of the week because we'll have to let it dry. And yes, that is a wonderful comment about adding color. So you have pigments that come in powders, you have paint, you have all kinds of things that can be added to molding paste. You just take a little bit out on your Teflon sheet, mix it, and then you can use it. So absolutely you can. Then there's things, especially when you get into molding paste, that come colored, so it's a little bit easier, but you're limited by what's available in the colors. So let me show you these because they're really pretty awesome. So I don't know if we have any of these foil deco. This was made by Deco Foil, but there's been lots of different things out there that are different colors. What we have right now are these stencil butters. So let's see if I can show you the difference here. All right. These feel and act like what am I trying? I'm looking for words. They let me see if I can just show you and not have to find my words. This one feels thicker. So again, it's how much medium is in there. And you want to make sure, I have a tendency to not put enough on there to get the dimension, because I'm thrifty with my. But so if I use this fancy scraper too much, I can pull all the medium, I can pull it off of it. All right, but this feels thicker to me than, so. I found these ATC cards in the stuff. So now I have the butter, and this one just feels thinner. I can't tell you, and there's some really cool things that they show you. Now, why I know, so let's try something. Let's see. Do I want red? I guess I want red because I already have red on my page. What this stencil butter can do is I literally, you know, I'm always using mine through a stencil, but you don't have to. This stencil butter is much creamier than the other. I don't know if you can tell, but
So Sue wants to know if the stencil butters are metallic or just glossy. I think they're like pearlescent.
So here's the green. Yeah, I want to say that they're pearlescent. They're totally in your face, Sue. You need some. I can guarantee it. But yeah, I think they're kind of pearlescent. Because they don't have like the traditional metallics. They don't, there's no gold, silver, I don't think. I think it's all kind of in your face colors. So.
Sue says, oh yes, I definitely need some.
It's just, it is a butter. It's definitely creamier. It's really got a cool texture to it. So, and I don't, you know, you can see there's a little bit of red there. I don't really worry about what's already on my stencil as long as I'm not going to contaminate my jar. So
they're already telling you to clean your stencils.
Yes. I had one stencil that I didn't clean it, and so I just kept adding and adding. We were doing a demo at Art and Soul. So I'm like, oh, somebody says, oh, you need to throw your stencil out. I'm like, no, it's now fodder. It's not a stencil anymore. It's got all this great color on it from using it. We're going to keep it. And we did, and I cut it up and I used it in something. So there's always a way.
Right. Cindy has said tar gel is stringy, and there's a self-leveling gel that is nice for topping off a piece with an
Okay, I haven't used the soft leveling. That sounds great. And the tar gel is stringy. That's what it's designed to be. And again, these are clear. You can add anything to it or not, depending, or do it after. I tend to do it after. So yeah, this is great. You guys have a really good handle on this. This is wonderful. This took me years to figure out. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we're okay. All right, so that's I'm getting a clock sign here. Now let me talk about, we're not going to get into gessos. Those are very, very thick, and they're meant to cover everything that's underneath them. Gessos come in colors, and it is to definitely cover. White, orange I've seen, black is common, those type of things that you want to do. Make sure you know about. Now, I started talking about silk paper. Silk paper is something that we do a lot, and we have used different mediums. So when we do silk paper, we're using a textile medium. So this is a textile medium versus a matte medium. And what that means, so some people, we did an experiment at one point in time, and I'm sorry I couldn't find it. Elmer's, matte medium, and textile medium. So why do we want to use textile medium? Because it keeps the fibers soft. Because it really, this is a glue, just like matte medium is, but it's for fibers and textiles and fabric. So you want to be using that if you want to still be able to feel the fact that this is a texture of fiber. Whether, you know, it's raw silk, so that's it. If you used at the other end matte medium or Elmer's, which I don't even buy Elmer's anymore, you're going to get stiff, sharp edges. It's going to be hard and crackle, and it's okay if that is what you want. I want to at least feel some of the fact that it's still a fiber. And so those are the opposite. And it creates, Elmer's creates like a knife edge when you're doing it. You're watering it down, you're putting it on a silk paper rather than the textile medium. So there leads you to, do I buy fiber glue? Do I textile glue? Or do you buy a regular glue? For any purposes. So I find that the softness in the textile glues are better than the hardness of just a regular glue. So if you can, there is a reason to have those tools and have them be fiber versus paper. But again, if you already have fiber, it will work on paper because most paper is a fiber. All right. So, any questions, comments?
A few of them. First of all, Mary loves the background quilt. And
I made this. Me. I used a ruler.
And then what about Fabri-Tac?
Well, we sell actually tacky glue and we sell crafter's pick. So I would think the Fabri-Tac, I don't know that it provides a permanent adhesion, but most of the time I go back to soft gel and I use soft gel on my textiles. I will use crafter's pick. It's a little bit, it works really nicely for paper and fabric, but my go-to for those things is the soft gel. Now, do you not want soft gel on top of your fabric? Then I would use a fabric glue or this crafter's medium. It works really nicely. So if you do not want to have to cover, that's a big deal. So that's good. Now, temporary adhesion. So you can use some of these Roxannes that are for applique, but also glue sticks. So what we're going to do, what I want to show you again, I just did not get this until I had to get it. We sell Yoo-Hoo glue sticks. One is blue and one is white. Okay, so why do we have colors? Because, ooh, I have some of these open already. These are from my house. Oh, that has the wrong cover. Okay, you can tell. All right, so I don't have a blue one, so we'll open a blue one. But here's a white one. Can you see it? No. Here's a blue one. So the whole thing is you can see where your glue is. And that is why we've started carrying the blue ones we've had for quite a while. But again, my mixed media friends at Art and Soul taught me that one. And I was like, that makes a difference. Because I've always gone for a white glue stick. So, but it really makes a difference when you see where the glue is. I don't know how I feel about whether that glue stick is temporary or not temporary, how long it will last, if it'll glow, but I mean, it'll get yourself down there. That'll be okay. Now, if I'm using things like applique or I'm trying to use the, we have Roxanne's that's done in little dots, and it's designed for fabric. It's designed by an applique quilter. So I would go, if you're doing that kind of work, I would work with those materials as well. So it's kind of like BERNINA has feet for every task. These are glues and things for every task. So I didn't used to believe that, and that I've learned a lot, especially with my interaction with Art and Soul and actually going to the dark side on the mixed media side. It's been very educational, and there is a reason to have different glues and different mediums, and a glue stick versus Roxanne's and that type of stuff. So, all right, we hope that you have learned something. It's really great. I appreciate so much of sharing things that work for you, and knowledge that is a fabulous contribution to our community. We will post this on our YouTube channel. It takes a couple of days to get it there. Please share. Please join us on Thursday. Absolutely watch for the newsletter on Wednesday at 5 if you're interested in the CAFE workshops and lectures, because we do expect those to go quickly. And there was something else I was going to tell you, but I didn't write it down. Okay, that's all I have. Kyle, did we have any other questions?
No, just Sue says we wish we could get Art and Soul back on the East Coast.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. She's only going to do Art and Soul in Portland, I'm sorry to say. And there's 2 options, spring and fall. And it is worth the trip. It is kind of cool out there. If you can swing it, it's worth saving for. Oh, I know what I was going to say. Okay. We have a Zoom at 4:30 this afternoon talking about our trip to Italy. And we do have a couple spaces left. If you would like the information to join us to find out, you don't have to commit. You just can be interested. I can send you the link if you email sales@artisticartifacts.com, and I will send you the link for that trip. So there are a couple of spaces for Italy in September. We're going, the class is the 5th through the 10th, something like that. We'll have the exact dates. But if you are interested in that, send me an email and I will give you the link. That's at 4:30 today. Yes.
And one last thing from Janine: a good soak in Murphy's oil soup can usually get dried paint off a stencil.
Murphy's oil's great. You're right. We use that to get the paint off of our wood blocks. But yes, who would have thought? Awesome. Great contribution. So again, thank you so much for being part of the Artistic Artifacts community.